Ndị be anyị ndewonu. Ọ bụ Ada Igbo na-ekwu na Igbo Media. N'Igbo Media, anyị na-ewetara unu ọtụtụ ozi gbasara ihe na-emegasị na Biafra Land, n'ala Igbo na mba ndị ọzọ. N'ụbọchị nke taata, o nwere ihe bịara n'iru akwụkwọ anyị nke anyị ga-agụpụtara unu n'ụbọchị taa. Anyị gụpụtachaa ya, unu egee ya ka ọha n'uju. Ị ga-esie ya, ị drọpụọla your comment, like kwa this our video and gbasakwa ya ka o ruo ụmụnna anyị n'ebe dị iche iche arụ.
Ozi anyị wetara ntata si n'aka otu nwanne anyị nwoke, a Biafra activist, dịka o si dere anyị ozi a n'iru akwụkwọ. Ọ dere sị: Yoruba land in reign of terror as Fulani terrorists kill many farmers. Biafran Nnamdi Kanu Vindicated. Ya bụ ozi ka anyị ji bịa tata na Igbo Media. Ị ga-esi enya bụ ozi, gbaa mbọ gwa anyị iche ma mekwa ka ozi arụtụ ụmụnne anyị n'ebe dị iche iche aka. Ngwa gere ya ka ọha n'uju.
Platforms controlled by the Yoruba people, the type of news that they should be, broadcasting at this very point in time, where they should focus all their energy, where they should, or should I say, what they should be fighting at this very point in time. Not to talk about Biafra in a very negative way. You shouldn't be seeing Biafra as your problem, because Biafra people are fighting to escape from hellfire. What we are fighting for is to escape from hellfire, which Yoruba people are already in that hellfire at this very moment. The hellfire is not just the government policies of the zoo. The hellfire is not just to be a Nigerian. The hellfire is because you are already mapped out for eradication, for extermination by the Fulani terrorists. Those that control Nigeria, those that control the government of Nigeria. You think that your son Tinubu is in control or in charge. The reality on ground that you don't want to, believe, or you don't want to listen, or you don't want to hear, is that Tinubu, your boy, is not in charge. Tinubu is just a poster boy. If Tinubu is in charge, Tinubu will not allow his people in Kwara State, in Ondo State, in Oyo State to suffer in the hands of Fulani terrorists. So that shows you that Tinubu is not in charge. Now, I don't want to talk too much. Let us read the news in full details. And as you can see on your screen, I'll be reading this very news from Vanguard News Nigeria. And according to their title, they have said, bandit on a live pregnant woman. A pregnant woman. Police officer, 8 others kidnapped in fresh Kwara attack. Look at the date here. September 24, 2025. I'm talking about not just today, but this evening. As at the time of recording this very news, it is 36 minutes past 5 p.m. which is about 24 minutes to 6 p.m. in the evening. Now, let us read in details. 1 pregnant woman and a police officer were shot dead, while 8 people were kidnapped in 2 separate incidents in Kwara State on Tuesday. In 2 separate incidents. And remember, when the officials give you these numbers, you need to multiply it at least times 3 for you to be able to get the actual number of the victims. Are you paying attention? Now let us continue reading. The Commissioner of Police, Adekimi Ojo, confirmed the unaliving of the police officer, Salisu Shamaki, at Abonran. Abonran is a Yoruba name. I want you now to know the side of Kwara State that these Lakurawa terrorists are attacking. I've said it a time with that number. I've said it countless times, but it seems like people are not paying attention. Now, it happened in Abonro, not Abonra, Abonro in Ifelodu local government area of the state. Ifelodu, you all know the meaning of Ifelodu. Ifelodu is a Yoruba name, like a Jeremy Ifelodu of Ajegule. Let's continue reading. Of Kwara State, in an interview with Vanguard, effort to confirm the unaliving of the pregnant woman and the kidnappings of 8 persons in Patigi local government area were unsuccessful at press time. Okay. Vanguard reliably gathered that a truckload of bandits attacked a truckload. they are a multitude. A truckload of bandits attacked Matoku village in Paitigi local government area in the early hours of Tuesday in an operation that lasted for about 4 hours. Again, in an operation that lasted for 4 good hours. So Yoruba people, especially those on the media, should be asking themselves, where are your security operatives? Where is your police? Where is your military? Where is your air force? Where are those fighter jets? Where are those armored tanks? Where are those your military armored personnel carriers? Where are your RPGs? Where are your AK-47s? That Fulani terrorists will invade a village, a community, in fact, 2 different local government areas. 2 different local government areas of Ifelodu local government area and Paitigi local government area of Kwara State, and operated for 4 good hours unchallenged. And you are not aware, they did not just overpower the security operatives, but they were nowhere to be found because they have told them to stand down. Their commanders, the top security officers, the top police officers in the state, the top military commanders in the state, who of course happen to or definitely be Fulani people, have told their their subordinates to stand down, to allow their foot soldiers, the terrorists, the Lakurawa terrorists, to operate unchallenged almost throughout the day or half a day. Because when they operate for 4 hours, what is remaining for it to be half a day? They operated almost half a day unchallenged. Unbelievable. Where is that criminal that is working for Tinubu in the TVC television? Where are you? You are there telling us, lying to your ancestors, talking about gentle. Lying to your ancestors. You can never see them talk about this. You can never see them be bold enough to speak about this. Unbelievable. Where are you? Where is the criminal? Jide, you are not even ashamed of yourself. Blood has, destroyed your entire generation. Blood has covered your eyes. You can no longer see proper again. Fool, mad people everywhere. You can't come out and read this one, idiot. Now they say it was also gathered that the fear of a potential attack before the bandits unleashed terror on the community on Tuesday had left the community almost deserted. And we are talking about Yoruba people, not the Kwara State, not the northern Kwara where Fulanis have taken over. We are talking about southern Kwara. Predominantly occupied by the Yoruba people. Are you paying attention? Yeah, at least you had the names of the local government and the communities. Let's continue. Prior to the attack on Tuesday, Vanguard was reliably informed that the community had reported a possible attack by the bandits to the army units in the area. Oh, there was, or should I say, there is an army unit in the area. There is an army unit. There is an army unit. Not that they should have come from Abuja, maybe before they got to Kwara, or maybe they were coming from Lorraine. Before they got to the area, the bandits have already finished the attack and deserted. No, there is an army unit in the area. I want people to understand what is going on. These are the things that we are stopping in Biafra land. And this is exactly what the likes of Jovika, the likes of somebody Guato, the rascal that lives in South Africa, the likes of Udele. These are the things that they want to bring in Biafra land. That's why you see them fighting tooth and nail to eradicate Biafra Liberation Army. And they have one woman. They have a certain woman who is joining them in the attack against the Biafra Liberation Army. You have heard her several times calling Gento, calling Igwe Butos, or calling them, attaching them to all the criminal activities that the politicians are doing in Biafra land. This evil woman knows very, very well that these attacks are being carried out by politicians, yet she will come on the media and start talking ill against the commanders of Biafra Liberation Army, lying against them. And yet she called herself a Biafra freedom fighter. I have said it on my live program that I'm not going to mention their names again. Both her and the other ones who claim to be freedom fighters. I'm not going to mention their names again. So anybody who is following them, if you are following them, you are doing that at your own risk. You are doing that at your own peril. Know it very well that you are contributing to the evil, or to the, inevitable invasion of Biafra land, of Igbo land, by the Fulani terrorists. Anybody supporting that evil woman, know it fully well. You know who I'm talking about. I should have mentioned her name, but I've said it on my live program. I'm not going to mention their names again. I'm not going to talk about them again. But when you see them fighting Biafra Liberation Army, you don't know that these people are doing the bidding of the Fulani to eradicate our army in order for them to invade. You don't know. People who claim to be freedom fighters are joining the Northerners to fight against the Biafran soldiers, and you are still following them. You are contributing money to them. You should go and examine yourself. In fact, you are gone. You are completely destroyed. You are no longer here. I'm sorry for all of you paying attention to that criminal woman. Now they said, but it was not heeded. It was not heeded. Listen, they had already, Vanguard was reliably informed that the community had reported the possible attack by the bandit to the army unit in the area, but it was not heeded. It was not heeded. To show you that even the army, they did not just tell them to stand down, but they also have their own share from the proceed of the kidnappings and unaliving of innocent people in Nigeria. Not only in that community, but this is not the first time that bandits operate freely for many hours without, military or police intervening and protecting the people. It's not the first time. It has happened countless of times. Now, they said no military officer could confront the bandits during the almost 4-hour raid of the community, even though the soldiers had been briefed on the possible attack. To continue reading this, I'm feeling headache already. I'm already, my body is shaking. The kind of evil that is going on in Nigeria. The kind of evil. Oh my goodness me. Chai. And people are still believing in Nigeria. Shame on all of you. The community was left to their fate as no single military man responded to the outcry for help from the villagers, only to be told later that they were waiting for reinforcement from Lafiagi, said the source who craved anonymity. You see? Oh my goodness me. The source claimed that one pregnant woman was unalived and 5 others sustained various degrees of injury. Currently, one of the victims was referred to a teaching hospital in Lorraine for proper treatment, as the injury sustained by the victim is beyond what could be managed in General Hospital Patigi. So that means survival. Now, 12 people were initially kidnapped, 4 escaped along the way, and 8 others are still in captivity. No specific demand has been made so far because it's still very fresh. Now, urgent, decisive government action is required to save Patigi and Edu local government area communities from further attacks. Similarly, unknown gunmen on a live police orderly, Corporal Salisu Shamaki, while 3 other policemen were missing at Aboron in Ifelodu local government area of Kwara State. Shamaki was attached to a Chinese miner in the area where the attack occurred. Okay. Wonders shall never end. Chinese miners in the area. A credible source told Vanguard that the Chinese miners escaped unhurt, while the whereabouts of the 3 policemen still remain unknown. A credible source told Vanguard that the Chinese miners escaped unhurt, while the whereabouts of the 3 policemen still remain unknown. Armed bandits had in recent times invaded Ifelodu after innocent members of the public, including policemen.
Ngwano dalo nineno umunnem dikun sinesera n'Igbo media. Gịnị kunu nwere ikwu na nkọwa nke unu? Gbasta maka ihe unu n'iru akwụkwọ. n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nke taa. Gwa anyị ife iche n'ụdị nke gị, deela ya n'akara kọmentị ka mara ihe i chere, ma chetakwa tụsaa ya bụ ozi ka o wereta ụmụnne anyị ndị ọzọ ntị. Ndewo na ụmụnne m, ka emesịanụ.